Welcome to the Buddy and Shane Show.
Hello and welcome to the Buddy and Shane Show. Buddy Franklin fresh off smashing out a half marathon in Noosa. Beautiful Noosa. Did you enjoy your day out?
It was
down that way.
It was good.
Yeah?
No, it was good. It was nice and fresh in the morning, a little bit of rain, and then...
I'm a bit worried about you.
As soon as we started the run, sunshine came out.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. So,
do you take in the sights? Because you're in Noosa and obviously you're training for the New York Marathon. So do you actually run along looking at the scenery and taking in things, or you're just totally locked in on sticking to my time, listening to my music?
No music.
No music.
No, I want to feel the pain, Shane. So, no, I think like I was using music all through my training in the last little block. I'm like, no music, and I'm going to race with no music. So it's actually much better. I enjoy it.
It's when you think of your best ideas. So when you go for a little run, you got no music in your head and you think, oh, hang on, I've got to do that, got to get that done, tick, tick, tick. And I noticed your time from your last half marathon at the Gold Coast to now, you've improved by 5 minutes. I'm a bit worried about you. I think you take it too serious.
I need a life, Shane.
It doesn't matter about the time. Just enjoy the run. You've been racing the clock and pushing yourself to the limit in the past. You did.
I beat JT, so I'm happy with that.
Jonathan Thurston's, he didn't look good at the end. He looked like he'd hit a real brick wall, and I'm a bit worried about him too.
Mate,
he's leaving it all out there.
Exhausted, as we all were. He goes hard, JT. So as we all did, but. It was a full on. It was full on. Like, it's only a half marathon. Like, you have ultimate respect for people that do marathons. It's obviously a lot of preparation, a lot of training to do it. Like, there's no hiding. You need to do the work to get through. So, no, absolutely loving it. We've got Alice Springs in another 2 months, I think. So a lot of this next training block's going to be very difficult.
A half marathon in Alice Springs?
30 Ks.
Oh my goodness.
30 Ks. So it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it.
Okay.
Well, and how are you, Shane?
Well, I'm very good. Not bad. My shoulders, I'm back.
What are we still talking about this? What is that?
Phantom
collarbone or
my injury that you reckon never happened? I'm just looking for sympathy because that's exactly what I want. Hey, the footy, it's like the finals have already started. Like everyone trying to get their way into the top 8. So the race for the top 4 and the top 8, it's on. So one of Hawthorn, Bulldogs or Fremantle, they'll miss the 8 with at least 14 wins. Okay, so no team has ever missed the finals with 14 wins. And there's still a chance the Hawks or GWS can miss with possibly 15 wins, which is just crazy. So 15 wins usually gets you a home final.
Well, look,
Crows, Pies, Lions, Cats and Suns, they're a chance for top 4.
So many teams and numbers, so that's a lot for my head to work out.
So Crows, Pies, Lions, Cats and Suns, they're a chance for top 4.
Yeah.
What is your top 4 when you're thinking about it? The Crows are locked pretty much with their run home and a huge percentage sitting on top. But then you got Collingwood, they're on 60 with the Crows, who are on 60. Brisbane on 58. We had them out last week, but they're back. But their percentage is low. It's 112. And Geelong's on 56 with 138. And then you got Freo on 56. It's all getting complicated.
It is getting complicated.
Gold Coast on 52, but they've got 125% and they've got a game in hand.
I think who do you reckon? Who do you reckon misses the 8 out of all those teams? Who would you be thinking?
Oh my God!
Because I think the top 4 it'll work out whoever it is. But who do you think misses that top 8?
I think the Giants are going to miss because the Hawks are going to win against the Pies this week. Although if they lose against the Pies, it's too hard.
Yeah,
there's so many.
I think with GWS they obviously they've been up for a while. They'd won their last 6 or 7 on the trot.
They just had.
I tipped them. That was my moral. So sorry for that, guys.
Well, look at Brisbane the week before against Gold Coast.
Yeah,
they had an off night, and then. Now they're premiership favourites again because their midfield just dominated through there.
No, I think they'll bounce. I think GWS will bounce back. It's a tough one. I actually don't know.
Yeah,
I actually don't know. I'm not going to say, but it's tight, isn't it?
I love how everyone does their ladder predictors from week to week, and every week they have to redo them because we cannot work out this game.
Well, I had Brisbane not playing finals, so that's how good I'm going, Croft, and then they come out and beat the Pies. So it just shows you that it's hard to tip, isn't it? It's hard to tip.
I'm pretty sure I said their midfield's the best in the competition,
Well, they are.
and they will win against Collingwood.
Yeah.
And they did. Hey, the interstate teams, they're flying.
Yeah.
If you eliminate the Swans, Port Adelaide, and who's the other interstate side that's struggling? West Coast Eagles, of course. They're going horrendous. So you got Adelaide, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Fremantle. They're all in unbelievable form. Your side, the Giants. So right now, this week, and it changes from week to week, and all the football experts, they change their mind from week to week, injuries and form. Who's your pick to win?
To win the premiership.
This week and what you've seen and what the injuries that are happening and where everything's at, who is favoured to win? Is it Adelaide? Because they're pretty much positioned to have 2 home finals.
Are you saying to win the premiership or
to win the premiership?
Well, I'm gonna stick with GWS.
Okay.
I know they got beaten by
that.
88 points, whatever it was, against Bulldogs, but I'm going to stick with GWS. I think they obviously had a lot of outs last week. There was a lot of kids playing, but I think they had a down week, but they'll bounce back this week. But I'm still going to stick with GWS.
Big loss, 88 points to the Bulldogs. How good are the Bulldogs? And they're still not in the 8.
Yeah.
So, anyway, have the Pies got the collie wobbles? So they've had 3 losses in the last 4. Obviously lost to the Lions. It's a massive game Thursday night against the Hawks. Saturday night. They've got to keep their top 2 spot alive and their top 4 hopes alive. They're really missing a few down back. Jeremy Howe, who's been out. I think their most important player is Beau McCreary. So, and the reason I think that is because of his pressure that he applies, his tackling pressure, his hard running when they do have it. I think he's a super important ingredient. And insides that are really, really good, there's always players that go under the radar, and he's definitely one for me. So I feel like they need him back in. He's got a hamstring injury. He's still a few weeks away. Have they got the collie wobbles? And what are we going to do to get the Pies going?
Well, I think the first thing I'd start with is please get your captain not getting 6 kicked on him. I think that sort of helps. I think the last couple of times, even against Fremantle, couple,
Voss.
3 or 4, Voss kicked 6. So I think that to start with would help. If you can do, your captain needs to be obviously doing a better job than that. A 19-year-old kicking 6 and is not ideal. I think start with that. But I think they'll be all right. I think Collingwood, they know what they're doing. It's that time of the year. It can be difficult for teams. We've been in this position where you're up the top of the ladder. It can be a little bit of a grind this part of the season. But because the season's so tight and every game's so important, you need to win. So they can't switch off for a second because you can drop out of the 4 and then you mightn't get a home final. So every game's so important for them. But I think they'll be fine. They'll bounce back. They're a good team. But I would say the leaking of goals, especially when it's on your captain, I don't think he just needs to be a little bit better, that's for sure.
And it's not all on your defensive end. I put it on the midfield to apply a bit more pressure and to help out down there. It didn't look good, and you got a young kid as you kicking a lot of goals for the Lions on the weekend. So, yeah, there's a bit of work to be done. The last month, Darcy Moore's, had a few kicked against him, and the defensive end has looked a little bit of a worry. Dan Houston seems like he's a bit out of form. Bobby Hill's back in, but he's not playing full games. And, they've got a couple of key injuries. So there's a few little cracks there, but I feel like they've been managed really well. I think they're in a hard training phase or have just come out of a hard training phase. They've got to lock in and make sure they're top 4 if they're going to win the flag. The Hawks, are they in trouble? Will Day, he's got a navicular, so we're going to get Dr. Franklin to try and fix him. So 14 wins probably won't be enough with percentage. So they have to beat the Pies and they've got to beat the Lions, which is a huge ask, although their form against Adelaide I thought was pretty good.
Should have won.
The midfield needs something, and it's going to have to stand up with Will Day out. So what about the Hawks? Are they in trouble?
Well, they should have won on the weekend. I think momentum.
Coulda, woulda.
We've spoken about momentum on this podcast for a while. I think momentum plays a huge factor. They started the game so well, let them back in. It's all about taking your opportunities. You miss from 10 metres out when the game's on the line. I think taking your opportunities, kicking goals when they're needed in big crunch moments. And then when you've got momentum, cashing in, put them away. You're 5 goals up, could have it been 8. You have momentum again, you miss opportunities, then it can cost you games. So that I think they'll look at that game and go, well, that's one that probably got away. I think Day missing out for the season is a huge out for him. He offers them something that they don't have, and that's that outside run, burst from a stoppage, break the game open. So I think him not playing out the season is going to be a huge loss for him. So I don't know where they find another midfielder like that. I don't think they have one. So
no, they don't. And they had been winning without him because he has been out for quite a lot. The navicular injury is a real
nasty one. Yeah,
yeah, it is. James Hird was when you look back in the history of James Hird's career, he had real struggles for a few years. I actually had a similar injury, a navicular injury, and was out for a good half of the season. And yeah, you've just got to make sure they heal. And then training-wise, you can't have too much impact and load through the foot. And obviously football, and my understanding, someone stood on that area too during the game. It's a real worry. So I'd be locking him away, making sure he gets everything done to heal it. And then in the pool, running in the pool, bike, I'd keep him off his feet as much as you possibly could. I'd keep him off his feet until Christmas and then bring him back and get him going from there.
It's so important for him. Like as you said, he just offers something that they don't have. I think, like you said, put him in cotton wool, rest him up, and then get ready for next year.
A couple of learning points for the Hawks from the weekend, and I have no doubt the coaches will be all over it. Thilthorpe, how good is he? There was a switch where there was a ball in around the 50-metre arc, and Sicily didn't have enough time to swap with Barras, but I think he did.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, I'll just take him. The kick come in, he got out-wrestled. Thilthorpe kicks a goal. You've just got to get the matchups right. Yep. You've got to switch. There's got to be no hesitation. It's like, yeah, quick, let's switch in the flow of play. And then Thilthorpe, Meek pushes down later on in the game, and then he takes Thilthorpe for the kick in from half forward, and he leads out, marks the ball. I'm like, you just got to get your matchups. You've got to be so desperate to quickly switch back, and I reckon that'll be a real learning point of view.
Especially as a captain too. Like you think when with Hodgie back in the day, he'd demand that. And I think that can be the difference between winning and losing, especially against good teams. If you're not using your voice and being strong, especially as the captain or anyone, you lose games. And that's what happened on the weekend. Just small little decisions, split-second decisions. If you don't use your voice, it can cost you in big games.
How would you feel if the ruckman of the opposition quickly swapped or your fullback got caught out and you've got the ruckman as your fullback now?
Yeah.
You're licking your lips.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're thinking, get out of my way, boys. I'm going to lead at this ball. And that's exactly what happened. We need to pump up Adelaide. Adelaide it's been a huge turnaround over the last couple of years. They've really got their momentum and their belief, but they've got some players in there who are just absolute X factor. Dawson, the captain, couple of his goals, no time or space, and he was able to impact that game enormously. And he's doing things that I didn't even realise that he could do. You would get a better handle on him because originally from Sydney. Yep. And then Rankin. You know, you force him, you think you're doing the right thing, you're forcing him to the boundary. You're doing everything that you should, yet he's still able to kick goals and put the ball wherever he wants. They're freakish players.
Well, I think Nixie spoke about it after the game, how mature they've actually got as a group now. I think probably 4 or 5 years ago they lose that game. And then you saw him at quarter time. There's no ranting or raving. It's a mature group. The coaching was on the money, calm, and then the players deliver for him. And then led by your captain, obviously played with Dorset at Sydney for a few years, and he's done so well to go over there and captain a big club. He looks like he's absolutely enjoying it. But Yeah, they're doing really well. We obviously haven't spoken about Crows a lot on this podcast, but I will say they're doing so well. I said Nixie's a great coach. And who knows? You just never know. If you get in that top 4, get a home final, anything's possible. So they're doing all the right things.
And I think that's what everyone's talking. Oh, they're going to get home finals, so they're pretty much going to make the grand final. It don't work like that. So they're not going to come up against any duds. They're going to come up against some very good teams. Yes, having your crowd, amazing, and it's wonderful to have that support, but you got to make it happen. You can't think that that's going to be a 3 or 4 goal advantage, because it's not. You got to make it all happen out on the field. The Bulldogs, they're peaking at the right time. 88-point victory. It was huge over the Giants. A disappointing Thursday night match. Darcy and Norton. You've got him. You fixed Norton. 60 goals they've combined since Darcy's returned in round 14. The midfield's firing. Can they make the finals? Can they win the whole thing?
I think they're the best placed 9th team in the history of the game. Like, you think they're incredible, and they're 9th. Now I don't know. I think they play finals for sure. Yep. They're just going to keep winning. I think, and when you've got those 2 guns up forward, obviously Norton had his struggles early in the year, but he's kicked 50 goals. 50-goal forwards don't grow on trees, so he's done so well. I think having Darcy back in that team's helped. Before it would be Norton would have 2 or 3 defenders on him all the time because they knew the ball was going through him. Now having Darcy there, they're getting genuine one-on-ones and both looking really dangerous. But yeah, Bont's on fire. The leaders are playing really well. I think that backline's held up. So it's held up. It has. Obviously they work as a team. They zone, defense. But the team defence. They're doing a really good job. So I think they play finals, Groff. And if they don't, it'll be staggering that they finish 9th. Yeah,
I think it'd be disappointing for the league if they're not in and firing like they are at the moment. But anyway, they've just got to keep winning. And you talk about them being 9th. So there's a big discrepancy from the top 9 sides to the bottom 9, and it's a bit of a worry. So I've got some stats here, and I know you love your stats. So top 9 versus bottom 9, last 35 games, it's been 34 wins to the top side, 1 loss, and the only loss was Sydney when they were 10th. They defeated Freo, who were 9th. So do you think
what's that showing alarming? Us the stats,
do you think
man?
that's a little?
I think it is really alarming
With some of the bottom sides,
because some games are unwatchable. They are, because you've got, as I said, I've said in the previous weeks, you've got all the best teams that are, say, goes to Bulldogs that are 9th, and then the drop off's just huge.
There's just no interest to watch.
There's no interest.
Some of those games, which is a real concern for the AFL.
Like for instance, when you watched Adelaide versus Hawthorn on the weekend, perfect. You want to tune into that. You had Collingwood versus Brisbane. You want to tune into that. But then you go watch the other teams that are down the bottom. It's difficult. It's going to be a challenge. And I think with the Hobart team coming in too, that's going to add another layer to it. I don't know. I'm uncertain with how everything's looking.
GWS, contenders or pretenders? The gap between their best and their worst. It's happened this year too. They've had some ordinary games, but then again, they've showed that their best is the best.
Well, they've
Hogan injured, do you think?
Not sure, but they came up here and beat Brisbane when Brisbane are flying. So they've got it. They've definitely got it. I don't think so. I think they had an off night. They'd won their last 6 on the trot, so they've been up for a while. That game against Sydney, that was a big comeback too. Then they had to travel to Melbourne. I'll let them off this week, but there's no doubt they'll bounce back. That's for sure. Who do they play this week? North Melbourne. So it's going to be a big win, you'd think.
A big win, you reckon?
Big win, yeah.
Although North Melbourne much better on the weekend, thankfully. Much more competitive. They had their chance.
Yeah.
Ruckman. Should they be playing the game? No. Ruckman. Brodie Grundy, 39 possessions against the Bombers. It's the most ever by a ruckman. 16 touches and 17 hit-outs and 5 clearances in the last quarter. So what is it about these ruckmen? English had 20 and 2 goals on the weekend. Jackson had 27 touches. Gawn had 20 and a goal. What's going on with the ruckman?
I will say, and He's incredible, isn't he? He's
Brodie Grundy?
Grundy is incredible. What he's doing.
What is he doing?
He's all Australian ruckman. Definitely. He's been, if not the best player in the.
You think he's definitely all
Australian
ruckman?
Has to be.
The impact he's had on the game the last, especially 10 weeks.
He'd be in the top 10 players in the comp, no doubt. The last 12 weeks.
Maybe he's smoking for the Brownlow with that long hair flowing everywhere.
You never know. He's always there. Like he's on ball. He follows up. He's had a sensational year. It's a pity they won't play finals, Sydney, but he's been incredible.
I wonder what the turnaround has been with him. Because we've always known he's a good player and he does a lot of bullocking work and that's a very tiring job. But he just seems like his endurance has gone to the next level. He's always had really good endurance, but he's. Did you see him on the weekend? The way he dominated that last quarter, it was like he was fresh.
Well, I think Coxie came out and said that he had a sensational pre-season, and if it helps if you had an injury-free pre-season, it definitely helps you go into the season nice and fresh. But no, it's good to see him doing well. And I will say that game, the empty SCG stadium, have not seen it like that for a long, long, long time.
They need a Buddy Franklin back.
No, it was
or Jamara Ugle-Hagan.
Essendon have been doing poorly this year, so I think that was a big factor in the stadium being pretty empty. But it'd be good to see that SCG packed again, mate.
Well, it's not going to be packed maybe until next year when they start.
When they're playing.
Pushing for maybe finals. I've got something that I want to bring up.
What do you got, Jane?
Change. I want to change something.
To a rule?
Yep. Goal kicking. It's always a worry. It seems to be worse at AFL level. Set shots. I think the 30 seconds has got to come down to 20 seconds when having a shot for goal, because I feel like players are wasting too much time. It doesn't take you 30 seconds to go back and then come in and have a shot for goal. So I think you need to put it to 20. And then on top of that, if you're outside 50 and you say to the umpire, I'm going to go for goal, and you pass it off, they're already wasting time. If you pass it off, it's a free kick against. So I've thrown in two rules because it's time wasting.
Well,
we don't like the time wasting. And even when you're having a shot for goal, you pull up your socks, you get your mouth guard, you readjust yourself, you look at the clock, how we're going. Okay, I can start my run up. Eliminate that. Yeah. Back to 20 seconds. How would you feel about that if you were having a shot for goal?
I think a couple of years ago the umpires were right onto it. Like even if you got to the 30 seconds or whatever, they'd count you down and go play on. But I think now they're not as strict on it.
Yep.
So I think if they got a bit stricter on it, they'd make the game flow a little bit faster. But I don't think it's a huge issue, Carl. Has it been affecting your weekends?
I don't like the time waste. I definitely don't like the time wasting outside 50.
If your team's in front, perfect.
Yeah, but I don't like the time wasting, especially, 55 out and you say you're going to have a shot and you end up passing it off on that 30 seconds. I don't like that at all. And I think we need to try and eliminate that. Anyway, I'm just trying to fix the world.
Well done, mate. Great thought.
Thanks for that. Anyway. Hey, just going through some of the games. Obviously, the Bulldogs and Giants are awesome. The Crows, we're loving the Crows. The Crows are up and about. The competition is much better when the Crows are winning. The D's, well done to the D's. Now, the D's bounced back against West Coast, 83-point victory, but it was all their leaders. You had Gawn, Viney, Petrarca, Oliver, Christian Salem. Well done, because it would have been a hard week for them. But they stood up. They all played well. They all got plenty of the footy, and it's a great way to.
And they would have been under the pump. They would have been feeling the pressure going into that game, coming up against a team that hasn't won many games at all in the last couple of years. So they would have been going, okay, we need to be on here and really put this team away. And they did. As we spoke about last week, their leaders didn't step up. This week they came to play, as you said, Petrarca, Clayton, Gorney. They all played really well. So I think that'll give them a little bit of confidence. It's always nice to win and win well, so I think it'll give them a bit of confidence.
Put a smile on your face, take the pressure off.
And take the pressure off Simon Goodwin. Like, he's been under the pump. People have been coming out at him. I still think he's a man for the job. So
do I.
I like him as a coach. He's a premiership coach. I think he just needs to maybe bring in some other players.
They've been playing okay. They've had a couple of bad quarters.
So I think they played okay this year at times. They probably should have won a few more games, but I think they'll be all right.
The Suns, my Suns, Noah Anderson on fire again. If he's not top 2 in the Brownlow, he's going to be All-Australian. He's possibly All-Australian captain. He's shown great leadership with a side that has never made finals before. The Swans weren't great against Essendon, but you got the job done. Brodie Grundy on fire. The Lions, wonderful victory against Collingwood. Their midfield, the Lions' midfield, so clean. And they are the best midfield in the competition when they're firing.
McCluggage, unbelievable.
Dunkley gets the job done. I just think, when you look at them and the roles that they play, but how fast they are with moving the ball on. You got Ashcroft, Berry. I just really admire. They did it against Geelong. You go back and have a look at the game when they defeated Geelong down there. Have a look at the way they handled the footy. It was seriously like a hot potato, but so clean to offload the ball to the teammates. And then on the weekend against Collingwood, and they're risky.
Yeah,
they're happy to take that kick through the middle. MCG they love because there's so much space, and they haven't lost a game in Melbourne this year.
Incredible.
Marvel, MCG, look out for the Brisbane Lions. They are going to think they're bulletproof.
But how good's McCluggage kicking? Obviously, Collingwood defenders like to drop off. They like to zone, drop off. So Brisbane wanted to hit the lead ups, and McCluggage draws the forwards up and hits you up. The Ashcroft boys, incredible little players. Like you said, their midfield's awesome. It's stacked. And, they probably 4 or 5 years ago, they weren't known as a good kicking team, Brisbane. And then the last couple of years, that's their one wood. Their kicking is incredible. And as a defence, you can't lay off your man when you're against good midfielders, and especially if they're on top and got time and space, they'll hit the forward up. So it's sort of, for Collingwood, but especially with Darcy, if you lay off, you're going to get goals kicked on you. So you got to play on your man and respect them, especially with the midfielders that's getting on top. So, Brisbane, they're doing really well, mate. They're doing really well.
The Saints go marching in. They backed it up after a huge win last week. North Melbourne, thankfully, highly competitive and had their chances. Geelong dominated Port Adelaide, 88 points. And Freo and Blues, actually, let's talk about this game just a little bit. Freo, they look like they were in a bit of trouble. The Blues were up and about. Very good first quarter, second quarter, go half-time, thinking we can win this. 8 points in front at three-quarter time. And then Freo end up winning by 27 points. It was an opportunity lost. Cripps was great. Hewitt had plenty of the footy, but Freo found a way. You don't like playing like this, but they found a way and they lifted when they had to. They've done that a few times. Yep. They did it against the Hawks a few weeks ago. And, once again, Jackson getting plenty of the footy.
Well, this is the game they were losing last year. Remember, Dockers? They were in contention to play finals and they'd drop games like that. So they'll be happy they got the win. Carlton played well for the three quarters, dropped off late, and then good teams make you pay, and Dockers were able to get the win.
That's it. You are listening to the Buddy and Shane show for AIA Australia, a life, health, and wellbeing insurer with a commitment to helping Australians lead a healthier, longer, better lives. Oh, it's my favourite. It's my favourite time of the week. It's time for
Buddy's Young Star of the Week for the Kia Tasman. Here now.
Now, this kid, he's only 19.
Right.
Logan Morris from Brisbane. We love our key position players on this show. Logan Morris.
Good Melbourne boy.
Good Melbourne boy. 6 goals. Shit. And did it on the captain against the captain of Collingwood, which hurts them. But incredible effort. Not many players can kick 6 at 19 years of age on the MCG, Croft. No one good anyway.
Well, I think he's kicked a few 5s this year as well. He's a premiership player already. It's his second year. He was a draft steal when you look at it. Pick 31 in the 2023 draft. He's kicked 40 this year. On the weekend, he had 14 touches, 6 marks, 6 goals. He's kicked 2 or more goals in 11 games this season, and his most impressive games have come against good teams. So 6 against the Pies, 5 against the Cats, and 4 against the Giants.
It's good signs, isn't it?
It's great
very
signs.
good signs, I think, especially as a 19-year-old key forward, kicking 6, as you said, 6, 5, 4, whatever it is, against all the best teams, is a really good sign that he's got great composure and loves competing. I think that's a big thing. Like, once he gets the opportunities, he makes you pay. Then on the weekend, to kick 6 on the MCG, huge effort for a second-year player. But as I said earlier in the year, I've had question marks on Brisbane with obviously with Danaher not being there, what everything's going to look like. Still am a little bit uncertain going forward. Like, yes, they played really well on the weekend. But when I look at this kid and what he did on the weekend, if he can stand up like that in finals, then they're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be hard to beat. But it's very hard. He's only 19 years of age. We can't expect him to be doing that every week. But if he can kick maybe 3 a week, give him a big target and keep presenting to the ball like he has been, they're a chance. They're a chance, that's for sure.
Well, he kept his spot last year when he came into the team, and you could see there's something about him. There's a bit of X factor about him. And then he's not afraid to lead to the pockets and hover in the pockets.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about him, apart from him being a really good player, but he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
He looks like he's always got a big smile on his face when he takes a mark and he goes back to have a shot. That's great. It's good to see a player actually enjoying himself. 40, so well done.
40-12. So 40 goals. When he gets, as I said, when he gets his opportunities, he makes you pay. So when you break it down, if I'm him, I'm just going, all I need to do is take 3 marks inside 50 a game, and there's 3 goals. Yep. I know it's pretty, you just break it down and go, if I can just take 3 marks inside 50, there's 3 goals, and just set your game up on that. That's what I'd be doing. But I think he's a tremendous talent. I think Brisbane will be licking their lips with him on their list, that's for sure.
Yeah, great pickup. Buddy's Young Star of the Week, thanks to the Kia Tasman, the most Australian Kia ever developed.
Have you seen me around?
I've seen you.
Surfboard or not?
Yeah, I have. It's built tough. It's tested hard. Buddy wasn't tested hard when he was drafted to the Hawks. And it's ready for anything, whether you're hauling, towing, or taking the road less travelled. The Tasman is made for the job. The Kia Tasman is here now. You would have seen Buddy cruising down
Burleigh,
Gold Coast,
down Burleigh.
then down to Brisbane, and then all the way to Noosa on the weekend in his ute. Looking amazing and comfortable, unbelievably comfortable. That is all happening. Hey, I want to finish with a Collingwood superstar. His name is Steele Sidebottom. Congratulations, 350. Although you say to me 350s don't matter. He's still going strong after 17 years. He's had a great season. His first half was amazing. He's averaging 22 touches, 4 marks, 4 tackles, and 4 clearances a game. He was pick 11 in the 208 draft. That's the year you and I won the flag with the Mighty Hawks. He's one of the most skillful players going around. I absolutely love him. Even if he only has 20 possessions, they all hit targets. They all have a huge impact on the game. His goal in the grand final from outside 50 late in the game when your legs are fatigued was
incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
His forwards must lick their lips when he kicks the ball inside 50. Steele Sidebottom, an absolute legend. He's from a little country town just outside of Shepparton. I think it's called Congupna, but I might have got it wrong because I do get a lot of things wrong, but it's just outside of Shepparton. What a player.
What a player. I think the thing that stands up for me with Steele's been in big moments. He steps up in big moments when the team needs him the most. 2-time premiership star. He's been around for a long, long time. Continues to play well. I think the biggest thing for him is he knows what he needs to do and he just sticks to it. He just sticks to the basics, runs up and down, got a huge tank, beautiful both sides of the foot. He's been an incredible player and it's just an absolute privilege to watch. And congratulations on 350. It's huge. Not many can do that, Croft. I know you didn't.
No, I didn't. I pulled the pin.
You should have went. You could have went another 2 years, I reckon.
No, but they said I was going to have to look after you for a few more years, and I said I can't do it anymore. I said I can't do it. But well done, Steele. And he's celebrating against the Hawks on Thursday night.
Oh, it's going to be...
Maybe they should rest him and then do it the week later.
All the games. Out of all the games...
It needs to be against
I know,
the
like,
Hawks.
it's massive game for Hawks, and then you've got his 350th. So they're going to be up, Pies, so it's going to be a cracking game, that one.
Although Hawks have got a good record against the Pies, and they won't be scared. So this is game on. Well done, Steele. Congratulations. We love your work. Well, that's it.
That's it.
Make sure you tune in on Thursday. We're going to tell you who's going to win. We're going to give you the absolute morals.
The morals could be done. Do you reckon, or should I just stick to the morals?
What do you mean? No, you got to.
Well,
Hey,
I think we just need to have a chat of the...
Everyone has an off week.
Okay.
If you're doing footy tipping, you tell me the people who are locking in 9 every week. It doesn't
but
happen.
you can't be handing out morals and then it gets beaten by 88 points. So I just think we just need to calm down.
Okay,
on this
yeah,
show
we
just
need to
for a bit.
rethink that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's got to be a rule because you've gone with your moral with the Giants a bit. You had Brisbane, you nailed, and then you had them against another top 4 side, which I can't think of what it was, but who it was, but you got it right. So you've gone with the Giants. You've trusted the Giants because they've earned your trust, and then they finally let you down. So maybe we'll put a rule in that
No more Giants.
no more Giants. Okay, yeah,
no
there you
more
go.
Giants.
You've just
Okay,
put that rule
I'll just
in.
leave.
All right. So tune in on Thursday. We'll tell you what's happening for the Buddy and Shane show. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Barry.